I'm John Davis, and we're in the field in the beautiful Texas Hill Country. Water is an important resource anywhere, but especially here in Texas, where it's not always easy to find. We're here at Texas Tech University's Llano River Field Station, where researchers are developing the best techniques to share with landowners on how to be better stewards for their land. Right now, researchers are trying to find ways to have the land use less water, as well as keep this beautiful river, the South Llano, as beautiful as it's always been all this time. Here's Tom Arsuffi, he's the director of the field station. He's going to tell us a little bit more about what they're doing and how they're improving the land. So Tom, we're talking a little bit about the South Llano Field Station and what you guys do here. Tell us what you researchers are doing.
We're doing lots of stuff. We're one of the big initiatives we have that cover an awful lot of territory is we're developing a watershed protection plan for the North and South Llano Rivers, the Upper Llano Watershed. It's a voluntary, stakeholder-driven process. They identify the issues affecting the watershed, the flows of the rivers. So, another component of the Watershed Protection Plan is education outreach. We have lots of elements in this plan in terms of the stakeholders have identified brush control, land stewardship as an important issue. They've identified riparian habitat. We have feral hog problems. We've got exotic deer problems at really, really high densities. We have really, really high white-tailed deer densities.
What I find so interesting about this place is so much of the 411 acres you sit on is a big experiment in how to do the best land management practices, right?
There's not a lot of areas in Texas where people can learn about the natural resources environment. 90% of the population of Texas lives in urban areas. So we look at using this property as a way for when visitors come that they can learn about the natural resources, learn about water, what are best management practices to make effective use of their lands and to be good stewards, to not only improve and protect our natural resources here, but that subsequent impact downstream, that ripple effect.
All right, well, let's go take a look at some of these experiments.
For sure.
All right. So, what is this? Is this like solitary confinement for bad students? What do you do here?
Boy, John, I hadn't thought about that. Maybe that's an alternative use. When I first got here, the people would talk about walking up and down the South Llano River. And they say, well, we don't see any seedlings of all of these riparian trees growing up. So lots of different hypotheses, but one of the hypotheses was, looking at a correlation. We've got lots of deer, lots of exotic deers, we've got hogs, and they're all along the riparian zone. So we have this enclosure that's been in existence for about 3 years. It keeps the deer out, and look, even though we've got research on the differences in biomass and species diversity and richness, it doesn't take a scientist to look and see that this is lush inside and it's bare bones, dry, and not very attractive on the outside. Landowners can get to see how these kind of management practices could actually lead to a better environment and make their land more valuable.
So let's go take a look at some more experiments.
We've got more to show.
All right. Now, mesquite and cedar are part of the natural landscape here in the hill country. You can find it pretty much anywhere, but sometimes these natural plants get out of control. I'm here with Karen Lopez, who is the assistant director here at the Llano River Field Station. She's going to tell us a little bit about why does mesquite and cedar get out of control?
Here at the field station, we have you can see we have about 40 acres of mesquite. And the reason it gets out of control is there is no grazing, nothing eats it, and there has not been any fire, to go through and burn it out. And we have got some pecan trees that you can see that have been out here too, but for years and years they have never had any fruit on them. And now, since we have controlled some of the mesquite, we've got fruit on our pecan trees. It just takes over and nothing grows around it, nothing eats it.
How does it impact the water table? Does it drink a lot of water?
Yep, uses a lot of water. Roots grow real deep, they stay there a long time. Even when you try to control it, you try to cut it back, spray it. If you don't get it all, the root system can lie dormant for a long time and then come back up even 20 years later.
So you're using this field of mesquite as sort of a laboratory to show landowners and other interested people how to take care of their mesquite problems, is that right?
Yes.
How exactly are you doing that?
We have got a couple different demonstration areas out here. On this side we've got the control where it has not been treated, and you can kind of see what it looks like. It's real dense. You can hardly walk through it. We have had a stem spray area where you just spray the stems of the plant. You have to get the stem all the way around. We've got a cut stump area where you cut it off and then you spray it.
By the way, what is this thing behind us?
This is a wildlife guzzler. You see the tank there, it holds water. So for every square foot, on a 1-inch rain event, you can collect 0.6 gallons of water. You collect the water, so rather than it go into the ground or it evaporate, it collects into the tank and fills that trough. And one of the things that is good about this wildlife guzzler being located here is it's off the river some, which keeps the deer and stuff from the impact down in the river. It lessens that.
Okay, so this is remarkably different from the mesquite forest we just came from. What happened here?
This area here is where we came in and we grubbed, and that's where you come in and you just take the mesquite up by the root. And it's actually the most invasive to your land, but you get the best result. And what you can see here across here now is a little more of this grassland savanna that we were hoping to achieve. A lot of different plants have come up, and things that don't grow in the control area, you can really see the difference. Of course, with every treatment that we do, whether it be the grubbing or the cut stump spray or whatever, we have to come back in and do maintenance. And so we've got a few babies, I guess, that have come up since this last year.
Oh, like this guy here?
That guy there.
Okay.
And that's probably about a year's growth. This was a year ago that we did the grubbing out here. And what we do with that is we'll come back out and we've got our sprayer here. This is a chemical compound that is not anything you have to be licensed for, so you can go right in as a you and me and buy it over the counter.
Oh, okay.
And you want to do it?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Gloves for safety.
All right.
And the sprayer, just pump it up and I can kind of tell you how to do it.
Excellent. Just like you would do it at home, spraying your yard?
Yep, you
okay.
can do that. And what you want to do is just soak the leaves or wet the leaves. You can kind of spray over the top of the plant.
Okay.
And if you can get around the stems, generally when we spray, you have to really get each stem in order for it to do any good.
Okay.
There's a little one right there,
yeah.
Looks like.
Right here?
Yep. I think that's this one. Little babies coming up in these
sure
places.
enough, yeah.
Like I said, their root systems stay in the ground. They can stay in there 20, 30 years and then and come back up. And one thing, by rubbing out the mesquite, and these new plants and things coming, that we see, the water in the ground is now more focused on them and not being taken by the mesquite.
Okay, so the grasslands will grow once the mesquite is out of here.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
All right. I'm going to go way out here and see what I can find. All right, where else we got some? I'm probably doing the worst job ever, Karen.
I think if you get any on there, that's better than nothing.
Is that right? Okay. Yeah, that guy took a bath. So, what have we learned? Well, trees like cedars and even this mesquite tree are naturally occurring here in the hill country. However, they can get out of hand quickly because of fire suppression. So landowners should do their best to take these trees out to save themselves some trouble and some water. Now don't go anywhere, because we're still out here in the hill country, and next I'll be battling alien invaders here on In the Field. Like what you see? Who doesn't, right? If you do, make sure you subscribe. Also, don't park here, or you'll be towed.